Hello and welcome to our launch for the Berkeley Group 2026 portfolio. My name is Will.
My name is Wei Yu.
And we are both part of the Berkeley Group Singapore office.
Yes, and this year I would say it's going to be a very, very exciting year for Berkeley Group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's our 50th year anniversary.
Yeah, a really exciting year indeed. And actually we've got a couple of really exciting years ahead. As next year is the 15th year anniversary of the Singapore office, where we are filming from today.
Yes.
And also our Hong Kong office. So the Singapore and the Hong Kong international offices were the first international offices that Berkeley Group established.
Yes, and these are just the 2 out of 8 international offices we have across the world. We do have Dubai, Bangkok, and 4 in China, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and the Chengdu offices.
Yeah, so we really are spread globally.
Yes.
But since the Berkeley Group launched in 1976, we've hit some really, really big milestones. So in 1986, we were first launched onto the London Stock Exchange, which is obviously absolutely fantastic. And even today, we are recognised as one of the largest companies in the UK on the FTSE 100s.
FTSE 100.
In 1990 was when we shifted our focus entirely to kind of the brownfield regeneration side of things. And ever since then, we've completely reshaped the landscape of southern England and the middle of the country as well. So including places like London, Reading, Bath, Birmingham, Milton Keynes, all the southern counties around kind of the southern part of the UK. And all of these places I've just mentioned, we have developments today, active developments that buyers can look at. And we're going to be talking about these developments in our 2026 portfolio later on.
Yes, I think this is probably one of the main reasons that our buyers, especially overseas buyers, choose Berkeley Group, is because we have such wide range of opportunities and developments across the whole Southeast England and London. So in our portfolio, there will be like 4 parts. So the first part will be showing you our projects in London and upcoming in London as well. So this year we have 47 live developments in our portfolio, and more than 20 within Greater London area, and 22 sites and 2 more upcoming sites in outskirts of London.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is why we are kind of the chosen developer for not just many people in the UK, but also globally.
Globally, yes.
Yeah, we really are the developer of choice for those looking to buy UK property. And it's not just because of our kind of expansive portfolio, but it's also because of the numerous awards we've won for outstanding customer satisfaction. We also recently won an award for Most Admired Company through the London Stock Exchange. And of course, as previously mentioned, we are a listed FTSE 100 company. So it's just all these different components that make us kind of one of the more trusted developers to buy through, one of the more recognizable developers. But the portfolio we're going to talk about today is really the key. It's the fact that we have so many different options, ranging from kind of London, the city centre, all the way to the outskirts. Prices within this portfolio range from anywhere from £250,000 all the way up to kind of £5 million if you're buying in central prime London. So whether you're an investor looking for something around £250,000, £300,000 with high rental yields, great capital growth, something like that, or you're looking to buy something in
a dream house in the
Absolutely.
suburb, with greenery area, easy access to city centre.
Yeah, we really do have sort of something for everyone.
Yeah, so I would say most of our apartments are leasehold, 999 years, and our landed houses are freehold.
Yeah, absolutely. And we build 15% of London's homes every year. So we've got an enormous range of these 999-year leasehold options. And of course, we've got, a lot of developments around the outside of London with landed houses, freehold options, all with great connectivity into London. So a lot of really interesting kind of things to look at.
Yeah. So many exciting opportunities. Where shall we start?
I think it'd be great to kind of, have a look at kind of the developments that we actually do build. Yeah. Because our primary strategy is brownfield regeneration.
Wait, let me stop you here. What is brownfield regeneration? I always get this question asked.
I think this is a great question, and it's a really good one to know a little bit more about, because it enables you to see the vision that Berkeley Group has for many of the developments that we are building currently. So brownfield regeneration is essentially taking an area of land that used to be used for something else, often within an existing community, and transforming it into ultimately a usable development. So our strategy is to build a mixed-use development. These developments are typically kind of long-term projects, so they could be anywhere from 5 to 30 or 40 years. And the mixed-use component is kind of one of the most unique components, because we don't just build kind of high-specification apartments and homes. We also have commercial offerings, so we build an enormous amount of commercial space. We bring businesses into this commercial space. So
community center as well. Community is very, very key and essential for us. Schools, nurseries, I've seen, and even transportation like train stations on site.
Yeah, shops, restaurants, bars, cafes, absolutely anything that we think could benefit not only the people that are buying into the development, but also the surrounding community as well. And that's really key.
So I think, I guess we'll start with, like, in the past years, what have been completed and what comes to top of your head from this magazine?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of things that we've kind of completed and a lot of developments that have hit certain milestones within the last year. I'd actually quite like to throw the question back to where you okay. and know your thoughts on kind of a development that comes to mind.
I think the first one will be Bow Green. Bow Green
yeah.
is our beautiful site located in East London, in Bow. So in the past year, we just completed the very, very first phase. And I've seen videos, I haven't seen personally, but I've seen videos of the brand new supermarket, Sainsbury, that opened up, and also new gym with a boxing ring, which is very East London,
Very
right?
East London,
yeah. Also seeing the very first tenants that moving in, I heard very good news about the rental yield as well. So yeah, I think that's the one come top of my mind.
Yeah, and Bow Green has been a fantastic development since we launched it at the beginning of 2024. Where it's located, it's only 11 minutes from kind of the city centre, getting to kind of London Liverpool Street via the Central line, and then via the DLR line you can get down to Canary Wharf. So it's really well located for getting to either of those.
Oh, next to that university.
Queen's Mary University.
Yes.
Yeah. So really well located, really popular, and of course the facilities are absolutely fantastic. As where you mentioned, there's a fully fitted gym. But there's also the indoor pool, the outdoor heated pool, IMAX cinema, which is not something you see every day. And then of course, residence lounge, working spaces, private garden areas, games rooms, absolutely everything. So it's a really, really great development, and we're only in the first phase. So that's kind of what's most exciting, is that
still more opportunities
absolutely.
to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I think for me, a development that comes to mind is Camden Goods Yard. So moving away from East London and looking kind of at Zone 2 North London now.
Actually, I wouldn't say North London, it's actually quite central. You see Camden, everybody heard about Camden Market.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Camden is a super unique location. It's right near Primrose Hill and Regent's Park, which are two really prime areas kind of within London. On kind of Camden's main high street, you've got Chalk Farm, which is just 4 minutes away from Camden. And this is on the Northern Line, can take you into King's Cross in central London in just 5 or 10 minutes. The development itself is absolutely amazing. The facilities and the first phase are completing this year. So that means the first residents are going to be moving in, and they're going to get to make the most of those new facilities, which is really exciting. I think something that's also really unique about Camden is there's a 50,000 square foot supermarket located right next to the first phase. And that's
convenient.
Also 100%, yeah. And that's also going to have a restaurant located on top, a farm to fork restaurant. So there's a lot of really unique offerings at many of our developments that we're very, very excited about.
And I think having the facilities ready in the very first phase is a huge bonus for the future tenants.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether you're buying for investment or lifestyle, I think that's absolutely key. Because if you're buying for investment, it means that, of course, your rental can reflect the fact that your tenant's going to have access to all of these amenities.
Yeah.
And if you're moving there for lifestyle, you yourself are going to want to have access to the amenities. So
you don't need to wait for another 2-3 more years.
Absolutely. I mean, look, we're talking about the 2026 portfolio. We're talking about new launches and new things that are happening this year. But no, you're 100% right. We need to talk about kind of what's on offer now that you can buy now, because there's going to be a whole range of buyers listening right now. There's going to be buyers who want something they can move into immediately in 2026. And then there's going to be more long-term buyers that are thinking about kind of those 2027 to 2029 completion dates, so a little bit more off plan. So you're right, definitely worth mentioning that we have a number of developments, such as Oval Village, where we have an existing phase with a number of apartments that are ready to move into now in the Pinnacle.
That's located in South London.
Southwest London, yeah, absolutely fantastic location, 10-minute walk from the River Thames, right next to the very unique landmark, which is the Kia Oval Stadium. If you're familiar with Battersea Power Station, it's not far from there, so really, really amazing. And then off the top of my head, a few other developments in different parts of London. We've got Alexandra Gate.
That's
in North London.
That's where you worked.
That's where I used to work when I was based in the UK.
Yeah.
And then we also have developments in West London, such as Grand Union. So Grand Union is a 22-acre, huge regeneration master plan, building over 3,000 homes.
Over 3,000 is a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And the phase that's currently available that completes this summer is being built right on the peninsula, so right on the river. You can have apartments which out of every corner, every window, look right down the river, look over the green space. Really, really beautiful, and development. I know the apartments there start at about £380,000. So again, really great for investors, but of course, because of the way the development is and because of the offerings, the features, it's really fantastic for lifestyle. So if you're looking to buy for yourself, all of these developments are really, really good options.
Yes, absolutely. So now shall we move on to our new exciting phase?
Yes, absolutely.
Phase rather than development.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a number of new things launching this year, not just new developments, but new phases within existing developments. So a lot to kind of look at. There are developments that you as buyers or you as listeners may have heard of, come across before. So, I mean, just to list a few, where should we start?
We talk about East, North, let's talk about West London.
West London? Okay, so one of our prime developments in Southwest London, Kings Road Park. So we're launching a new phase there called 1 Kings Road Park. Now that's a really exciting launch because that's an absolutely beautiful tower.
I think it's going to be one of our most prestigious projects across the portfolio as well. Yeah,
100%. Located right on the King's Road, it's a very, very unique road. It's where, of course, Ian Fleming set James Bond as living when he was spying all over the world. So that's very, very cool. If you're into James Bond or into your British history, that's very exciting.
Yeah, and our facilities are also ready from the very first phase. And the new phase we're launching there will be some add-ons, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Another phase that's being launched in one of our existing developments is in North London. So we've got the Iris and the Grove at one of our developments in Woodbury Down.
Oh, very beautiful.
Yeah, and Woodbury Down, again, similar to Grand Union, is an enormous regeneration and master plan. So launched prior to 2010, so it's been going on for many years, but we're only 50% of the way through this development because we are really transforming the entirety of that area. So it's absolutely fantastic. And the great thing about this new phase is that we've got 2028 and 2029 completion dates. So what that of course means for investors, if they're thinking more long term, they can kind of access that longer stretched out payment plan. But also if you're looking to buy for lifestyle, and North London Zone 2 is kind of something you're looking to focus on, this phase is right next to the train station at Manor House.
Yeah, and with Piccadilly line, that takes you only about 15 minutes to King's Cross station.
Yeah.
So some of the apartments have very, very beautiful lake, like reservoir view.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's worth mentioning a development outside of London as well, because we've got a development in one of our, Reading Riverworks.
Yeah.
So we've got a new phase launching at Reading Riverworks.
Also beautiful river view.
Yeah, fantastic. And Reading Riverworks is located on the River Thames. The location of the actual development is only 8 minutes away from Reading Town Centre and just across the road from Reading train station.
That's super convenient.
Yeah, and it's serviced by the Elizabeth line as well. So in 25 minutes, you can be all the way in London Paddington. So very convenient, really beautiful area. And of course, Reading has Reading University. And the town itself is going through an amazing regeneration phase at the moment. So really fantastic for investors looking to kind of spend a little bit less than you might be doing in London, but also looking for that kind of growth that these outer London towns are going to bring. I think one more development that I will mention as well is going back to Camden Goods Yard.
Yeah.
Because we recently launched a new phase there called the Gallery.
Yes, and it's very iconic the building itself merges very well with the local style, and there will be this like rooftop restaurant on this building and a huge Morrison supermarket downstairs.
Yeah, absolutely. And for this development, it really is the iconic building because it's where the development name is located on top of the building. So if you've ever seen either Camden Goods Yard on a brochure online or in person, you'll have seen the big letters Camden Goods Yard. And that building is where we now have most of our availability, completing kind of end of 2026 into 2027. So very, very exciting indeed.
Cool. So I think people cannot wait to hear about the new projects that we're going to bring.
Yeah,
in 2026.
We're not even on to the new projects yet, and we're already talking about so many new things happening just within this year.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a really exciting year for Berkeley Group with the new developments that we have launching. All throughout, all throughout the southern England, really.
Yeah, shall we start with outside London?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we go north of London, about 30 minutes north of London, and we go to Milton Keynes, which is a town just above Hertfordshire, which is a county in between London and the area we're talking about now. Milton Keynes is one of our largest regeneration projects. It's one of our largest developments we've built to date. And it's really unique because we have apartments with 999-year leaseholds, and we also have landed houses with the freehold offering. So it's really amazing. I don't think have you been there yet?
I personally haven't, but surprisingly, this project, once we brought to the international market, it sold very well. Locally and internationally, because I think it's very, very first phase of this huge regeneration house project. And it's so convenient just to go to London.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's within what we would call a golden triangle location. So specifically, what we mean by that in this case is that it's right in between London, Oxford and Cambridge. So three of the most populous cities in the UK. Cambridge and Oxford, of course, have two universities that are, two of the top universities in the entire world.
Top universities.
Exactly. And Cambridge and Oxford are historically very popular places to visit for tourists. They're very popular places for people to go for education. And then, of course, London, the capital city, is kind of that main hub that you want to have good access to. Milton Keynes itself is also undergoing a lot of regeneration at the moment as well. The town centre is being completely redeveloped. There's a lot of high streets that are being redeveloped. And, of course, this means new businesses are coming in. And this is sort of the great thing about these areas outside of London, is that a lot of businesses have decided now to move from the city centre to the outskirts of London, where it's a little bit cheaper to operate. So these smaller towns where we're now building development are really benefiting from this, because with businesses moving their headquarters comes all of the employees that need somewhere to live, they need somewhere to eat, transport, everything like that. So it really boosts the value over time of these areas.
True. Apart from Milton Keynes, there will be another one. I remember very, very beautiful names in
Surrey?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So where is Surrey, by the way?
So, firstly, Surrey is just south of London.
South of London.
And more specifically, we're talking about an area within Surrey called Guildford. And the very beautiful name that Wei Yu was talking about is Arch and Bloom.
Arch and Bloom.
Yeah, so Guildford is surrounded by the Surrey Hills. The Surrey Hills are kind of this beautiful, sprawling areas of greenery, which you don't often see near kind of city centres. So you're still really close to London, but you have access to this beautiful green area. Surrey itself is kind of one of those towns in the UK that's A, very famous, but B, it's very, very sought after. It's a very, very beautiful town. A lot of boutique shops, restaurants, bars, cafes. It's very family orientated as well.
And our location is really close to the high street as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're the only developer that are actually building new homes in Surrey. So it's kind of the start of something very, very new for kind of this area.
Exciting.
I think another thing to mention as well is that Surrey is sort of seen as the Hollywood of gaming for the UK. So within Surrey there are 3, 4, 5 very, very well-known sort of gaming manufacturers that basically create some of the most well-known games in the world. So there's an enormous sort of community of business going on there.
Opportunities for investors as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, of course, all then backed by Surrey University. So there's so much happening in this area.
Students, international students, and young professionals, families because of the good schools.
Yeah, absolutely. And estimated rental yields there are up to 7.1%. And you can see why. It's a really, really exciting offering.
True, very exciting.
Yeah.
And shall we go a little bit further?
Yeah, I mean, if we go a little bit further into London, so of course from Surrey to get into London, it's very easy. It only takes 30 or so minutes to get into central London. But if we move a little bit closer into London, into Zone 5, we come to an area called Sutton, where we're launching a development called Sutton Garden Square. Now, Sutton primarily is renowned for its education. So there's primary and secondary schools there that are so good. Families move from all over the country just to be located in this area so that their children can go to these schools. But our development, again, is in a really, really unique location. It's only a few minutes walk from the train station that can get you right into central London within about 25 minutes. The development's also located near a really big high street, which has absolutely everything. Huge shopping mall, bars, restaurants, cafes, everything you need to have a really enjoyable lifestyle. But of course, if you're an investor, everything you need to kind of, make the most of that area. Everything you're going to need to essentially demand a good rental.
So all these new projects we will bring to you, to your doorstep in our international offices and in international different cities, and just keep following us and pay attention about our event details.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one more development that is a new development that we have already launched, but it is a brand new development, and I'd like to mention is in Bath.
Yes.
One Waterside. So this is our landmark development, as far west as we've currently ever delivered a project. But One Waterside is in a location called Bath, as mentioned. It's located on the River Avon, just a 20-minute walk from Bath town centre. Now, for those of you who may be watching, wondering where on earth Bath is, so Bath is in the west of the country, and it's one of the most popular cities in the entirety of the UK.
Very, very beautiful. I remember I visited several years ago.
Yeah.
Even with raining, but super beautiful with the Roman bath.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a ton of history there. It's quintessentially very British. It's very peaceful. Bath University and Bath Rugby Club are two of kind of the most popular and main attractions.
It's also along the riverside.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only an hour and 20 minutes away from London. So a lot of people decide to move there for the lifestyle, especially when they're only working in London 3 or 4 days a week, so they can easily get up and down. Bath University is very attractive for both English students, UK living students and international students.
It's worldwide famous. Yeah.
And then from the investment side, new homes are now starting to come up a little bit more regularly in Bath. So there's a start of something very brand new, a brand new kind of regeneration project. And as always with Berkeley developments, it's sort of key to get in early on, phase one, make the most of kind of that long-term growth.
True, cool. I think with all this information, and of course, 47 developments in our portfolio, maybe a lot for them to digest as well.
Yeah.
But we are here, and same as our colleagues in the international offices and in every single marketing suite in our UK marketing suites, we all have this portfolio magazines in. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're watching now, it means you've signed up to the webinar, and that means you're going to be sent the 2026 portfolio. As mentioned at the very beginning, we have 8 international offices spread across the globe. So one of the international offices that is nearest your time zone, you can get in contact with them and they can give you a lot more information about either the UK market or a development within our portfolio that might be of interest to you. If you are in the UK, of course, please visit one of our sales suites. All of our developments have their own sales suites that are typically open 7 days a week, and dedicated teams that are kind of there to look after you, show you around, and hopefully be at the start of your buying journey. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for listening in. We've really enjoyed presenting this year's portfolio.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.